a trans person on Tumblr posted a really thoughtful thought. And it really just, because even though I don't identify as trans, what they were saying was so powerful about how you're raised. And I want to pass it on here because I think it might really soothe some wounds for people, queer people, even eldest daughter syndrome, mother wound people, whomever. So the thought was that people hate their trans kids because it's a lack of control. They never pictured their child being trans, and it angers them that they cannot control their child and have their adult, usually adult child, be how they pictured. Many people who come out as queer and or trans are told by awful parents, I always pictured you'd be a bride. I always thought you'd have kids. Well, who's I identified as cishet till last year. I'm 37 now, and there ain't no babies or marriage here. You can be cishet, not do that, but the same kind of parents are the same kind. Why don't you have any kids? My dad pulled that once on me, sister number 2 and 3, and we all looked at him and we all basically said almost together, grow a uterus and a vagina, we'll talk. Because are you kidding me? Mind you, sister number 2 actually has a son, but it wasn't enough. And then he went out, I am not even kidding, he went out and dated a woman almost my age, who had a newborn daughter and raised that kid for 3 years, and then she left him high and dry. He also ignored all of us while he was doing this because not one of us was happy about it. So yeah, he went out and found his own replacement, and of course it didn't stick because I'm like, if you want a kid, just go make a kid with somebody who consents. This is weird. My grandma's like, oh, you'd have to be married. So, that shit goes way back. And I know because I come from a line of rebellious women, even though none of us like the one who came before us. My whore mother just wanted to escape her small town, which oddly enough, she keeps going back to and just went back to the circle of hell. And she only got with my dad because she thought he could take her away from that. My two parents are basically the black sheeps of their family, and then my grandma, my dad is her son. Oh, he's not a black sheep. I said, he doesn't live here. You're always lamenting that. He's not married. He never remarried. And he doesn't own a house. Well, maybe, but I just wouldn't call it that. Then my deceased grandmother, my mother's mother, immediately went to Hollywood when she graduated. I don't have the story here. She never told it, and I didn't learn it till she died. She actually lived in Long Beach for 4 years till she had to have her appendix removed. And then she went home, because I guess cheaper or whatever, ran into my asshole grandfather on the bus, immediately got pregnant and married him, and longed for him for many years, even though he left her high and dry. He committed bigamy a few times. He never seen my mother after one visit, and he also broke out of prison at one time for a nonviolent crime. But so these are a bunch of women who did not meet expectations, who were not even queer. Although, for the record, it is strongly believed in my family my mother is asexual, and she's even made a point of saying that. So, anyways, for trans people, it really is control. If you're assigned female at birth, you say, I'm a man. I thought you'd be a bride and have babies. It's like, maybe I'll still have kids. This isn't up to you, mother. And what broke this out was a different post by someone on Threads who said they'd gotten married, and the night after their first night together, her father came and said, oh, me and your mother already picked out our grandparent names, which is so stupid. Come on, people, just be grandma and grandpa, whatever. And she's like, what? Because she doesn't want children. And she's been very clear about it. And she has a sister who has 3 children. But, that's what they pictured. And probably the best example of this is an old Guardian article from 2012 where a mother said her adult son having a tattoo devastated her. It was his body she gave him. I've heard parents also say that about piercings. Yes, I wish I were kidding. What? This is also the same kind of people that if you dress beyond the normal, like you're a goth or you have pink hair, why would you do that? But it's extra rich to me when this isn't in every case, but when many parents do this and they offer no support whatsoever. What wedding am I having, mother? I'm living in my shit town and I can't afford rent, and you have, if you even have money, you ain't giving it, and you probably don't have money. My mother straight up stole money from sister number two. Okay, she never sent me up for a life where I could have any of those things. And if you're wondering, yes, she did have an expectation for us, and it wasn't even that. She told me she at one point in 2010ish, she was splashing cash to try and get all four of us to convert to Christianity. We all were like, no, but we'll take the money, thank you, because we're very, very poor. She bought me a car, which I hadn't had one for many years, and that was nice. And I'm still appreciative, but she also thought it'd convert me. I've been a pagan since I was 13. I even really fell in love with Judaism at one point, but I can't commit to one God. She wasn't like that either, don't worry. Although, all the Jews got to be in Israel, so the rapture happens, and they sacrifice the brown cow, so that's coming. Yeah, she told my sister this when my sister told her she had a chronic illness. So, yeah. For the record, my sister number two occasionally goes Christian and is the only one of us who's that dumb. So I think parents are horrible when they do this shit. If you have the choice, now I know in America today that might not be the case, but in the past, when I was created, whatever, my mother had a choice. She even miscarried and then she kept trying. She wanted a kid, but she wanted a docile, pretty sweet, oh, just like mama. And I wasn't that. I was a neurodivergent kid in the late 80s. My mother had no idea how to deal with that, and I suspect she might also have fibromyalgia, so that explains why she'd be so short about it. Her answer to this was beating me. It did not work. So once I was a failure, she created sister number two, she told me, as a plaything for me. And sister number two was cute. She did oh, mama loves sister number two, who she also stole from, don't forget. But that was the case for many years. She kept having children because she said, I love babies, but she didn't love the kids they grew into. She even defended beating me as a toddler because in 2014 because you have to admit you were difficult. I don't have children, but I do know toddlers are difficult. Never mind if they're neurodivergent. Awful humans all around. If your parents are like this, I want you to know that is straight up not your fault and not your obligation. You are who you are inside. You know your gender, you know your sexuality. Maybe it's not safe for you to come out. Maybe you're a teen. Maybe you need the money they're giving you. But don't ever let them tell you who you are. You are who you are. And if that pisses them off, they see you as property, not as a child they love.